So my favorite moment at the Resource Center was my first Fusion. Fusion is a discussion group for like queer and trans people of color. And I was really like coming into my own identities all at the same time. And this first Fusion, like everybody was just laughing. Like the shade was being thrown. It was a great time, and it really made me want to search into like how to bring all my identities together at once. So yeah, that was definitely one of the best, if not the best.
Some of my favorite memories, right? Like it's really hard to like put those in like a hierarchy and think, oh, this is the best one. But like I would probably say my time in Fusion has been really, really transformative, has been one of the most nurturing spaces I've been really privileged to experience. I've met so many people, like Fusion is fam, like that's what it is.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think like Fusion really gave me a community to really go to, and we could just chill together, and we would always joke around and have shade wars.
Yeah, oh my god!
And also like there's food, so
yeah, there is food.
Great.
So, like, I have a few memories that I really, like, cherish from the center specifically. Last semester, I remember we all went to, like, the Shopping Town Mall, right? And we watched Inside Out, which was just adorable. And it was, like, a really good memory for me. Also, when I went to, like, Fright Night at the fair or whatever, and I was very scared. I didn't expect that to be the case. But those are two really good memories I have of the center specifically. But, of course, as so often happens, I have plenty of like friends in the queer community, and I have really great memories with them too. But center-wise, that would be it.
I think my favorite memory so far of the campus community has been working with the Open Doors executive board. We have some really interesting conversations when we get together and when we meet with Erin. There's actually 3 Erins on the board, if you include Erin being our supervisor. So when we get together, it's, you know, the trifecta of Erin, and we've got Kara and Maddie too, and we just talk about the most ridiculous things. But it's always a good time, and it's just really nice to take that moment to get together in a space and be queer grad students together and just understand what that means, and being in a space where people understand that.
I don't have a specific moment, but I think like Fusion or like coming in and like talking to Chase was really nice. That was a while ago. Or like seeing Tiffany, or just like, I don't know, like just seeing like Resource Center staff, I think is really nice. And getting to see familiar faces and knowing that I'm in a safe space in general is like A+.
Well, it's probably the stereotypical get involved, but I think that people kind of just lay that out there without thinking about how difficult that can be for some folks. So I'd say to find something that you're super passionate about or that you're interested in maybe exploring, and maybe take personal routes to accomplish a goal, maybe a semester to get involved. Maybe you go to a couple of forums at the RC, and then maybe next year you lead one, and then just kind of work your way into finding your niche on campus, because I think it can be really hard to just jump into something. But the more that you get involved on campus, the more that you really, when you graduate, the more you really feel like you left your mark at Syracuse in the queer community.
I think it is so important to build a community that you value and trust, and if you don't find it, just keep looking. And I don't know, I think for me it was like I found community where I least expected it, and with people that I would never thought I would build bridges with, and it happened. So I would say keep an open mind and don't let the weather get you down.
Be unapologetic. Like, be very unapologetic, because honestly, like, equality has become like this buzzword, and what gets left out of equality is like justice, right? So become unapologetic with yourself, with what you do, because you need to make space for, if not for those who've already made space for you, then for people that are gonna come after you. And that's important, because everybody deserves to feel safe and feel like they belong.
Honestly, like, college is so stressful and kids are so stressed out, and like probably you're also stressed out at this point, and there is like an end in sight, and that doesn't mean the stress will end, but like, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure you're gonna do great. Like, the community is here if you need it, and if you don't, that's also awesome. But like, there really are just so many interesting people to meet, and actually we are at this really cool place in history, I think, where like being queer in some shape or form can actually get you some sorts of like opportunities just to talk about your story and your experience and that sort of thing. And that's a neat like cultural moment we're at that I don't know how long it will last. So, word.
More than anything, I would say like take care of each other. Like, you all are like who you have at the end of the day. Like, it's really easy to get caught up with institutional nonsense, especially around like academic achievement and who's the greatest activist and all of these other things, but like, that's all nonsense at the end of the day, right? Like, you're still trying to survive this institution, you're still trying to survive all of the like oppression and prejudice and horror outside of this institution, so really the best thing that we can do is just try to take care of each other.
Yeah, and take care of yourself too. I would say trust your gut.
Yes!
And emotions, and they're valid, and also the knowledge that you've learned from whatever community space that you may have come from is also knowledge and not necessarily prioritized or valued here at this institution as a form of knowledge, but it is.
Yeah, I think surviving is my plan, hopefully, most of all. But I'm sticking around the area for a little bit, so that'll be cool, hopefully. And I'm taking a year before I go to grad school so that I can like consider all my options really thoroughly so that I make like a informed decision about my future. But I'm looking at different degree programs, whether that's literature or like creative writing, so that's the direction I'm headed. Had a great time at Syracuse University. They have a great English program. Who knows? It's too cold.
My plans for post-grad would probably be connecting with like different activist organizations, and not only that, but creating violence prevention programs for queer and trans communities of many different backgrounds, because a lot of the violence prevention is still centered around able-bodied, cisgendered, heterosexual, and probably upper middle class white women. And not to say that isn't important, but I just ain't got time for that. So in terms of what I want to do is creating a really broader scope of how we can understand and enact violence prevention.
I would like to have a dog.
I would love to have a dog, especially if I got to have a dog with Fran.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like concrete next steps, for me at least, so I actually accepted an offer to be an assistant teacher over with Uncommon Charter Schools. I'll be a 5th grade middle school English teacher, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing straight right after graduation, but I'm looking maybe into long term doing something with the intersection of health and youth, especially queer youth and trans youth of color, hopefully. But
My plans. So I'm definitely visiting my mom in Taiwan this summer, and after that I hope to get a job in diversity consulting, corporate training, or HR. So fingers crossed.
I'm going to move to the West Coast May 16th, getting in a moving van and driving across the country. I'm looking for nonprofit jobs at the moment and kind of seeing where that takes me. But just really looking forward to heading home and to finding the next step for myself.